However, when I am now looking at, second or third ventures, I do get the same feeling again where I'm like, am I sure that I want to do this? Am I qualified to do this? Hi entrepreneurs, welcome to Entrepreneur's Diary. I'm Gisela Lyshetti and this is your channel, Entrepreneur's Diary. So welcome back to another episode, and today I want to talk to you more about sort of confidence and also about comparison. And this is one of the things that I have sort of done in my ventures, also when I'm just working, like the level of sort of confidence and the level of comparison that you do with others is quite a bit and extensive, really, to be honest. Because when I first started, I mean, it took me about a year to just mentally get over the fact that I needed to just get on with it and take the first step and do it, because I mentally struggled quite a lot, like thinking, am I good enough, which you guys know about the previous episode. But also I was thinking, how many other competitors are there? Like, there's so many competitors who do the same thing that I do. What value can I add? Like, because for every problem there must be a solution. But if every solution is the same, why would they use you? What is your unique selling point? What is so good about you? And it took me a long time to get through that, because I had that insecurity, like, can I do it? Is it me? Like, given the past experience of what I went through as a teen and all, I really doubted myself, whether I had leadership qualities, whether I was able to do that business, whether I was able to take hard decisions, whether I was able to set boundaries and all of that. And so, going into the field of business was something that was not even in my agenda since I studied law. But I'm glad I did. And the way I overcame it is because I started looking at, I mean, for me, I was going to Bark and those kind of inquiries, and I set up a page, and I just saw so many leads sort of flood in. This is a platform where basically you can pay per lead, and this really helped me. I mean it's really weird the way it helped me, but it helped me. So I basically saw so many leads coming on, people actually inquiring about products and services that's related to me. So then I was thinking, okay, so there are a lot of people in need of marketing. There's a lot of people in need for my products and services. So maybe I can have a chunk of the marketplace, because there, like I said, there is so many, and then so many competitors that I had to then compete against. Am I going into a niche? Am I doing it in 360 service? What is it that I'm doing? But I mean, when I started, I just thought, what, let me try it. And I sort of settled on that mindset. At least I tried. And that's what sort of pushed me to incorporate the business, because I said, look, I'm not going to be a failure without trying. I'm going to try. If it fails, it fails. At least I tried. So then I started it, and it was such a blessing, really. I mean, putting the structures in, finding the right people. Did I fail along the way? I learned some valuable lessons, and this is why 6 years now we are here, and I'm not the same person that I was 6 years ago. However, when I am now looking at second or third ventures, I do get the same feeling again where I'm like, am I sure that I want to do this? Am I qualified to do this? And I believe, I mean, if you're genuine and humble about this, I believe that every venture that you start is about the same thing. You have those doubts, you have those self-doubts, you have, it's how you strengthen yourself. Go do your research. If you got the idea, that means you've seen a gap in the market, without too much investment, right? But at least you tried, you did something, otherwise you're always going to think, oh, what if I'd done that? Like, I had that biggest sort of regret when I was younger. I wanted to do this MLM drop shipping model when I was 16. If I did that then, I would have been in a complete different place. But because I didn't have the guidance, the resources, and the permission, I never went through that. But now I see people doing, like, well, who started back then when I was in college, and they're on another level. So I now have learned not to regret, and I'm going to take a leap of faith, and faith is a risk, guys. So if you have faith in yourself, if you know that you can handle it, if you have a good supporting background, I mean, all of the episodes that we went through before in 2022, go for it, try it. If you are scared, you need a mentor, reach out to me, reach out to someone who has been in business. Never go to someone who doesn't know, or who hasn't been in business before, because everyone can tell you, logically they can tell you, but with experience comes also the keys on what actions you can take for you to then go and actually conquer what you need to. So yeah, I mean, do confidence and comparison. Never, my advice to you guys, never compare yourself. However, do maybe a competitor analysis, do the SWOT analysis like we talked about in the business plan, just so that you can understand where the weaknesses, where the gaps is, what you can do better. And actually by doing that, you already start learning their techniques. And what's the point of starting, reinventing the wheel when the wheel is already there and you just make it more fluffier? So basically, look at their strategies, look at the way they set it out, look at kind of where they've placed themselves in the market, and then see what flavor you can add to it. And then you start from the point of where they started. And these are, businesses who are established, right? So when I do competitor analysis, I always look at 5 sort of competitors, 2 of them who are very high level, top markets place, people who, can't even reach there and who've been there for the market for a very, very long time, because they obviously have sustained for some reason. Then I look at one who's in my level, who's about if you've been going for some time on the same level as you. If not, if someone who is in the mid-range, who's like started but they're sustaining and they're in the first 2-3 years, and let's see what they brought to the table, because they must have had a new USB, a new solution or something that actually got them to start, and then complete in 2 new startups. If you and the reason we look at 2 new startups is because they must have found, like you have found, a gap in the market. So if you can identify the gap that they have found and incorporate that into your structures, and then have your own flavor onto it, you're actually mixing everything together. So you have now become the past, present, and the future, or almost together. So with competition, take it with a pinch of salt, guys. Learn from them. Don't be intimidated. Try it. Don't ever feel scared to try. Now, that doesn't mean go invest 1,000, 10,000, go sell your house, invest £10,000 in stock or whatever. Be wise. Be wise about this. If your investment is linked to your family assets, make sure you speak to one another, that you're all on the same board, that you want to do this venture, that you want to do this investment. And it all comes down to, how have you planned the business? Have you thought of all of the directions that you need to do? So, be wise in what you do. Don't get intimidated by competitors. Don't fall into a trap of comparisons. And when I mean comparison, it's not just about, like how long has the website been operating, how long have they been trading, how much money. One really thing that I used to do is I used to go to a company's house and I used to check how much money did this agency make, and I would compare it to mine, and I'll be like, oh, why did I not make as much as they did? Are we not good enough? Like the thoughts started rolling in, like, gosh. And then I sat back and I was like, no, you know what? My challenges are different. I serve local clients as well as entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, international businesses, whatever it is. And my focus group is different. So you can't actually compare an apple to a pear, even though they're both fruits. So you can't compare them because they still have a different purpose. So my agency may have a different purpose. Their agency may have a different purpose. Their level of services and products may be different to my one, and it makes a huge difference. So you can't really ever compare yourself to a competitor who doesn't really have exactly the same structures as you, or the same vision. Or for some people, just covering their monthly expenses is good enough. They don't want to be billionaires or millionaires. So also the vision behind it is different. So if there's so many differences, how can you really compare yourself, right? So don't fall into that trap, guys. Save yourself from it. What I would like to do, or what I do, is I usually write down my USPs or my inspiration in front of me. So when I'm working, that I'll always have that in my eye level. So I'm meditating on it because I know exactly, okay, right, this is what's motivating me. This is what's making me different. This is the reason that I started. And you know, sometimes what I always like to do is I like to go and look through sort of my reviews, which we'll talk about in another episode. But I like to look through my reviews of what the past clients have said, and it really makes a difference because this is it, guys. For me, I love serving people, and when I see those in the reviews coming through, I get so happy, and it's like almost like a sense of accomplishment, but also it's just it gives me a reason as in why I started and why we came this far. And these moments, like I said in the previous episode, these moments will pull you through times when you think, oh, I'm gonna throw the towel in, and lo and behold, you guys, you know, I had that moment a long time that I want to just throw the towel in. But it is really, really important that you know your worth, your value, and your significance in the market. How are you differentiating yourself, and why did you start? Again, like I said, use wisdom, guys. If you really think that you're running in loss for a couple of years and you don't see the end point, maybe it's time for something different. But you know where you are. If you don't, I would say don't ever make a decision by yourself in such a respect. You know, do go to some counselors, do speak to someone who's been in business, who may be able to guide you, mentor you, speak to you. If you don't have someone like that, I mean, I'm sure, you know, you can find so much guidance nowadays, can't you? But if you don't have somebody like that and you do want to have a chat, let me know. I'm happy to have a chat with you. You can always, send me a comment, and then we can get in touch later on. But thank you so much, guys, for watching, guys. I hope you've learned something, and I hope, if this is you and you are the one who is doing the comparison with can I this business and that business, or competitors even, and you were feeling a bit insecure in that note, then I hope this has encouraged you, and I hope that you can learn from the mistake that I did. If you want a little bit more of substance to this episode, do let me know, and I'm happy to share my keys with you and how you can succeed however you are, wherever you are, but at least you tried. Thanks, guys. Enjoy yourself today. Bye.